Hello and welcome to episode 113.
Oh.
The Devil's Number.
Yeah, 113.
That's the one.
113.
We finally made it to
That's
the Devil's
one.
Number.
We finally made it to one
Yeah.
episode. We said this from day one. If we can make it to episode 113, we're doing well.
We would be doing well.
We sleep well at night.
Mm.
At last, after so many years, we can sleep again.
Another milestone hit.
Another milestone. 113.
113.
Everyone
Every single
knows.
week is a milestone. Especially when sometimes you forget to edit the podcast and upload it because you're busy.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Whoops. Life is
Yeah.
busy these days.
Life is busy,
Life is
especially
busy.
when you're on your holidays, which we'll get onto. Because first, this week's episode is the Wicker Tree episode.
The Wicker Tree episode.
I don't want to talk about that movie.
I never thought we'd have a Wicker Tree episode, but we do.
I never thought that we would
We're
have
scraping the bottom of the barrel
a
here.
recommended film this bad.
Yeah. Now this is. I don't want to get too
It's
in-
a doozy.
Too into it. It's a doozy.
We'll get onto it later on.
It's
Just know, we have a mad mark on our hands.
Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad.
Mad as hell.
I'm mad as hell. And I'm not gonna watch it anymore. I'm never gonna watch that film again, for various reasons, which we will get into in about 1 hour's time.
But before, Mark, I was in Rome. Had a great time.
Rome,
Rome.
the city of Catholicism.
What is does Rome have a nickname? You know, Paris, the city of love.
City of the Seven Hills.
Is that it?
7 Hills. Yeah, because there's 7 Hills.
It is hilly as fuck, man. I was up on top of one of the hills. We were straight off the bat. Fuck Google Maps. Like, I love Google Maps so much, but Google Maps couldn't figure out where our Airbnb was, and it took us on this fucking mad trip. And because we had all of our bags and stuff, and we get to steps, and it's like have to just carry our bags all the way up the steps, and it was so fucking many, and it was so steep. It
Yeah.
was so scary, just carrying hefty bags. We made it in the end. Hilly as fuck though.
Where was your Airbnb?
Just like near enough to the Vatican. I
Right.
think around that side of Rome.
Mm.
And so technically I was in 2 countries. Well travelled.
Damn, 2 countries in one journey. That's pretty good. Yeah, I went to Rome last year. It was very, very good. I really,
What time of
really
the year
enjoyed
did you go?
it. End of July.
So hot.
Hot as fuck. There was like, Jesus Christ, I was dying. I was like, I think I went over this at the time when I went, but like, there was, I think it was the second or third day we'd done loads of walking around, and we had to walk back. We got to like 2 spots because the city's so walkable. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Dublin. It's very, very compact, very, very small. But obviously much better than Dublin in every way possible. In terms of like what there is to do and see, and the history behind it and stuff. But like I remember, we basically had to walk about an hour in the heat after being on our feet all day, and my feet like started like. But when I got back to the hotel or to the Airbnb, my feet were perfectly fine. But like when I started walking for about 40 minutes, I was like, my feet are like bleeding, and I look down and they'd just be like, they'd be perfectly fine, but I'd be like, I could swear
Your feet are just in bits.
I was like, when like you lose the power in the bottom of your legs, and you're kind of like shuffling along, or I start breaking out like hives and stuff. We were so dehydrated, it wasn't even funny. And that's what they have water in every single street as well.
Yeah, it's readily available.
It's readily available, which is really cool. It's really, really good. But yeah, Jesus, it was hot as fucking balls. It was insane. So I had to stand under trees just to be able to breathe properly. I think I was just being Irish. It's like everyone else seemed to help cope with it fine.
Weak.
Everyone else coped with it perfectly fine, yeah. And they're like paying through the nose for like, one of those cafes that has like the spray, the misting at you. It's like, Jesus, they're expensive.
Yeah.
But well worth it. At the time, you're like, oh, I don't care.
I got ripped off and it was the best
Yeah.
€15 I've ever spent.
Name your price to spray like fucking 10 milliliters of water in my face for like 5 minutes. I'll pay whatever price you want. But yeah, it's a beautiful city. Beautiful city. How hot? It was like 20.
Man, I was wearing jumpers every day.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Didn't break out the shorts. I think I brought out the shorts one day.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was cold enough, man. It was
Cold.
like, it's not it's like 22, 23. So like you still get sunburnt, but there's like a cool breeze going through the place.
Yeah, okay.
so it wasn't that. I didn't find it too warm.
Mm.
Like, I know stage was like, I'm fucking dying, sweating.
Mm.
The Coliseum was like a fucking oven. That's the exception.
Yeah, a sun trap.
Yeah.
Sun trap. The
Just
Coliseum.
imagine being a gladiator in that.
Yeah, what do you
in
think?
that heat.
What do you think of the Coliseum?
It's class.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that you look at it and you're like, how the fuck did they build this? Like, it's just mind blowing. And the fact that it's still standing, even after, all this time.
Yeah, it's still hanging around. Did you go on one of the tours?
No, I didn't go on any tours.
No.
No interest in doing those tours because I knew those tours would be so long. Did you go into the Vatican?
Yeah.
Did you do a tour?
Don't think so. Don't think we did.
Bro, we were walking around for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I feel like we missed like either half or 2/3 of the entire place. It's huge.
The Vatican, yeah.
And it takes
really
fucking ages to walk around because you're walking around so slow because there's so many people.
big.
But yeah, it was like 2.5 hours. And we sat down and there was all this Egyptian mummies, stuff like that we hadn't touched and we wanted to kind of see. But we were just like, do you want to just leave and get food because we're fucking dying here?
Yeah.
Like, just... And like, it gets to the stage I always find when you're on when you're going through a museum, when maybe I've just been in poorly paced museums where I feel like you know your set routes. So you need to have like hills and valleys. There needs to be ups and downs.
Yeah.
It can't just be constant like,
Wow, look at this.
Wow, look at this. Wow, look at
They
this.
need to be like, this room is shit. And then they bring it into
give me
a good
some.
room. Yeah.
Give me something bad.
Yeah.
Like, I need something to like
Contextualize.
you need to put some modern art into the classical museums to remind yourself.
They had that. I remember that part. Because we
In the Vatican.
Yeah, I don't think we went around. We didn't go around to. I didn't even know there's like an Egyptian area. But like we were walking around, we're doing like the art, like all the fucking art, like the art wing or whatever. It was like Francis.
The acorn.
I don't even know.
That
But like,
thing. You ever see that thing?
No.
That's just like a statue thing that they have on the outside.
Oh yeah. We're in around that wing, like one where like you have the statue of Augustus and he's going like that. With the statues and they're all the hall with like all the marble heads.
Oh yeah, the Greek and Roman stuff. Yeah.
That's really cool.
That is cool.
I found it really cool because it's so old.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is the actual statue of Augustus. It's like insane. But then we wandered in some other area. There was like different eras of like it was like pre-modern, like medieval, then into like 15th century, 16th century, 17th century like art.
Yeah.
Like all the rooms are kind of like decorated and like themed around the different eras that they were from. And all had different pieces from the different eras, and then, it moved up into the 20th century. The whole thing was dog shit. It was all awful. I was like, this is so fucking. It was like it was so much stuff. Like you're walking around, because obviously for like between like I don't know, like the year 500 to like the year like 1500, like nothing. It all looks the fucking same. It all looks the same except like the people kind of change, like in the paintings.
Mm-hmm.
Like the decor was just kind of like. And even like the stories behind them, it's like this person was the bastard son of this person, and he tried to coup this. Like it's so boring. Like no one. It's like not relevant at all to the modern world. I don't give a shit. Like I don't give a shit what happened to these people. Or it's like, this person was like a patron of the arts, and he was friends with this pope. Like, who cares? Like nobody cares.
Mm.
And then you get to the modern kind of area, and you had like Picasso stuff, and you had Francis Bacon, and it was kind of cool. But it literally was just like, it was just like paintings on the wall.
Mm.
It was like modern art. It's just like very bare, kind of like.
Didn't come into this room at all.
Really?
No.
It's like it's not much to see. Like we were in it for maybe like 10 minutes. It's just like.
That's the thing. All these rooms are fucking huge. They take ages to walk through.
Yeah,
like 10 minutes. That's like, 10 minutes into like into a big hall like that.
It wasn't a big hall. It was just kind of like rooms, and we're just strolling around looking at.
Did you go down the one that's a real long corridor, and there's like maps on the wall of different places, and on the ceiling is like this crazy what were the ceiling paintings called?
The frescoes
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Were you in that room?
Probably, yeah. The one that was on, was it Melissa's story or your story?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was in that. That's amazing. Yeah.
And then you go into the next room and these crazy carpets that are like telling a story.
Yeah.
That was sick as well.
They're really cool, yeah.
And then so that's a high, and then you walk into the next thing, and the next thing is Maybe it's the thing that you're talking about. I don't know
There's
if it
a
is
lot of
that.
random fucking old paintings. Like, oh, don't care. Like,
It
just
was
could
so boring.
couldn't care less.
But then they hit you then with, if you keep going, you hit the Sistine Chapel then.
Yeah. I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
But like, there's like a spiral staircase, and
Oh
you're going all
man,
around the world,
it's
and you're
so
like,
boring.
where the fuck is the Sistine Chapel? I'm just trying to get there. You know?
Oh yeah, that's funny. Okay, I wasn't that room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There was some cool like murals and stuff like that. Not murals. What the fuck is the word? Frescoes. Whatever the fucking paintings on the wall.
Yeah, some of them are pretty cool.
Some of them were cool,
I was
but
just like-
Jesus, there was a lot of them that was so boring.
Yeah, it's like.
And I actually
yeah.
there was like Loop one that was just like loads of modern art, bro. I walked straight past that.
Who gives a fuck?
And you know it's the bad stuff because they give you the option to skip past it. Nowhere else you can do that.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the only reason I stopped to like and even noticed any of the modern stuff is because like Francis Bacon, stuff like that, like Picasso's. Like never seen one like in
Mhm.
person. I don't think. But I don't think I'd really notice if I saw one in person. You know, it's just like I was standing there because it was of the person who painted it, rather
Mhm.
than like, oh, this really makes me think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like
I've already seen this.
yeah. Some of the Francis Bacon ones were cool, but like I don't know. But like no, it is generally quite cool. I love there's like a room with like a lot of maps and stuff,
Yeah, that one was cool.
and one with there was like a globe, like a really old antique globe, and it had like it was just like a map of the world, and it had like this old. I was like, I picked out Ireland, of course. I was like, oh, there's Ireland. I took a picture, and but there's like this old. It's so old that has like this ghost island called High Brazil, which is it's like this legendary island which was apparently like stationed off the coast of Ireland, which was like featured in maps up until like the 16th century. I remember reading about it. It was part of like the random like myths. I used to be mad into myths when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I used to like really I was like fond of this myth about like High Brazil, because people like were so adamant that it was real.
But no one had ever been there.
It was real the same way people like talk about like far off lands,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'd be like, oh, maybe they're talking about America, and stuff like that. Like for example, like Saint Brendan apparently is supposed to have visited High Brazil, before he went over to like North America, stuff like that. It's just like a legendary island,
Mm-hmm.
which people were convinced existed until like very very recently, but obviously it does not exist at all. But I just thought it was really cool. I
Mhm.
found a map with it on it. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god, this is so cool. And then walked away.
History, man.
History,
Cool.
like proper. I was like, holy shit, it's High Brazil. What the hell?
Hi, Brazil.
Hi Brazil. Yeah.
My chicken is ready. That was good timing.
Chicken.
The mini break is done. The chicken is cooked.
Chicken is cooked. Sign me up.
Chicken's out of the oven. That's
That's
good.
it. Shout at the fucking pan, man.
Speak about food, man. Pasta, Italy, Rome.
Pasta. What was your take on Roman food?
Banging.
Banging.
I mostly ate pasta. I didn't have that much pizza.
You know
Had a bit
what?
of pizza though.
Hot take. Roman pizza is dog shit.
Which one is the Roman pizza?
It's just Italian pizza. I don't know.
Oh.
It's
Wait, what?
just pizza. It's authentic pizza, but it's just like it's all over the shop. You can't like. They don't even cut it up.
That's a good point, man.
They don't cut it up. Like,
Bro, we stayed in one of the nights, right?
yeah.
I think it was after the night we went to the Coliseum, and we were drinking, and we ordered pizza, and we got chips, and 3 boxes came, 3 pizza boxes came, and I was like, thought we ordered chips. I get into the lift, come all the way back upstairs, I pop it down, I'm like, there's 3 pizza boxes there. I thought we ordered chips.
Mysterious.
She opens up one of the boxes, my pizza. She opens up the second pizza box,
This is like gonna be like
her
7.
pizza. She opens up the 3rd pizza box,
What's in the box?
and it's a pizza with chips on it.
What the hell?
It was a pizza
Where did you
with
get
chips
this?
on it. I have no
Where did you
idea.
get this?
I've never. It
'Cause that
had
means-
cheese and everything.
'Cause
There
that
was
means-
no tomato sauce though. It was just fucking cheese and fucking chips on a pizza.
Do you think they did that to wind you up?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like,
Did they know?
This is stupid at all. Still eat it anyway, you know? It's like, shit, like the chips are ruined.
I tried it.
The chips are ruined. It's
We
good.
had no garlic sauce.
Mm.
They don't do sauces in Rome.
Yeah, they don't, like,
It was the driest thing I've ever eaten in my entire life.
that sounds awful.
Yeah, no. it wasn't good.
Potato, cheese, and bread.
A chip
Oh.
buddy, it doesn't count.
Potato, cheese, and bread.
Like it's more so just in
Well,
a
yeah,
pizza
because it
form.
doesn't cost like €10, you know?
Yeah.
You just
It was
make
a
it.
fucking joke. The actual pizza that I got was fucking dirt as well.
Really?
It's the worst meal I had all weekend.
They're mad greasy. Anytime I've ever had them. I've only been to Italy twice, but both times it was like.
Yeah, they love
May-
oil.
Yeah, they love the olive oil. I don't really get that though, because it's just it makes me kind of feel sick if there's too much on it. But like maybe I was just in
Real good
touristy
for you.
spots. It's real good for you. Real good for you.
I'm telling you.
Sure it is.
When you cook with olive oil, it's good for you.
Yeah. But like what the hell? Because like it's just Grease City. But like this time, or last time, like I think we went to touristy spots most of the time. But I went out of my way. We went out of our way one of the days at least to look for something that was like kind of like hidden off. Because we were staying in Trastevere, which is kind of like, you know, kind of the cool place. Kind of like it's like the Fibsborough of Rome. It's like tourists don't really stay there, you know.
Neat.
You know, whatever. It's just kind of like it's just you know, supposed to be cool. That's what I was. That's what was
sold.
That's what was sold to me. But I did, yeah, because you can go down the alleyways and you see all these like scally places. So like there actually was.
The Vatican is fucking like that, man.
Yeah.
You're going to the outskirts of the Vatican and it smells like piss.
Yeah, and all around the Vatican is just like, what the hell is going on here, you know? There's a few nice places as well. But I went down one of those dark alleys. And I went to it looked like a very authentic kind of place. Very authentic, very Italian. Everyone there was like, yeah, no one spoke English and stuff like that. And I got a pizza. I was like, this is shocking. This is shocking. It's just grease. It's just cheese, just blobs of cheese everywhere. It's like you have to cut it up, but like you have to basically eat it with a fork.
Nah, man, you're just a coward. I eat the shit with my hands.
Just grabbing.
Fuck the hands. Just dump my face into it.
Oh man, I was like, I didn't even have enough towels for me to wipe my face.
That's why I stuck with the pizza mostly, or the pasta.
Yeah, no, you're better off.
Pasta,
Way better off.
I actually think I prefer pasta to pizza anyway.
Yeah,
I think.
Fair assessment, fair choice.
Sounds good.
But no, Rome's a very nice place.
It is indeed.
Very nice place.
Spot. Good spot.
I'm a big fan. You know.
What'd you get up to on the weekend, Mark?
Fuck all. Well, no.
Didn't we just, Mark?
No, that's not true at all. I went to the Leisure Dome.
As did I.
For Owen's birthday. Happy birthday to Owen.
That reminds me, your
Happy birthday,
present. Your present is there.
Was it?
Right down there.
Here?
That to the left, right? Yeah, that yoke. I told you, got you something.
Oh, Chili's. Oh my god.
A live reaction. I'm probably gonna delete this out, but
reaction. Oh, very nice.
because you're always using. Because I don't know if you have a water bottle or like a decent water bottle. But
I don't. Yeah.
So
Sound.
I know you like your reusable water bottles.
I do. Yeah, it's actually really bad for like the microplastics and shit. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much, my
No
friend.
problem, brother.
What a king. What a wholesome king.
I got it for you because I got Liam a present for his birthday. I was like, oh, shit, I gotta get Mark one.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind.
No problem.
Such a wholesome moment on the podcast. Leave that in. Leave that in. That's so nice. Thank you, On.
No problem, bro. But yeah, we went to the Pleasure Dome.
We went to the Pleasure Dome.
No,
And then we showed up and I was like, what the hell happened? Where's the pee?
Where's the pee? It's just leisure. This is so leisurely.
Yeah, the Leisure Dome.
Yeah, where's it? Ashburn?
It's out in Ashburn, yeah. It's actually Ashburn's a surprisingly nice day. Ashburn's surprisingly like a nice place.
It's surprisingly easy to get to.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's
just one bus.
It's just one bus.
Yeah, the bus is kind of nice, you know.
It's a nice chill bus.
It's
Especially that night bus, bro. That night bus was nice.
Oh, Liam wasn't happy about that night bus.
Why?
He wasn't happy with it. He said it was too uncomfortable. I was like, bro, have you ever been on a Dublin bus?
Yeah,
This is like flying first class Dubai.
Yeah, man.
Slaves up and down. He's like, this is as good as it gets. But he was like, no, I don't like it. He's like, he found it too uncomfortable. I think it's like his legs didn't fit, and it was quite small. But like, my God, comfy.
Did you get the double decker on the way up? Because I don't think the one that we had.
We got the double decker or I got the double decker on the way up. Yeah.
Oh man, that was a comfy fucking
It was
bus.
so nice.
It was looks.
You know, it's like the country people. They're always complaining about the bus errand because it doesn't show up. It's so late, whatever. It's like it's only once an hour, stuff like that. But like once it arrives, you're traveling in style. You're traveling in style, like.
Yeah,
It's like
Jesus.
you got TVs, a TV telling you where the next stop is, like approximate times.
It's so quiet.
It's very quiet. It's got those cool kind of blue like streamer lights up and down the bus for like nighttime for like night vision. It's crazy. And it's like it doesn't even. It's not like bumping around like Dublin bus.
No, it's sturdy. It's on that road.
So
it's
sturdy.
Cruising like.
I was getting the bus up here. I was like, at one point, I thought it felt like it was going to tip over. Like it was just going to like lean over.
Dublin bus is rickety.
A bus air just goes smooth. You know, it's like straight out of like a fucking Tesla or something. You know? It's high tech, but no, it is surprisingly easy to get you once you get to the bus that you need.
Yeah, once you actually get the bus, because it's very infrequent.
That's about 20 minutes. It's not that bad. Could be worse.
It was 30, 40 minutes up for us on the way up.
No, every 20 minutes. Like in terms of
sorry, that's when we're getting to town.
Yeah, no, but yeah, Pleasure Dome or the Leisure Dome. Sorry.
Yeah, what are we doing? We've been talking about buses for like 5 minutes.
Every time buses come up, we talk about buses for about 5 minutes.
You have to.
You know, that's the Dublin. That's our Dublin lore. That's our Dublin. That's
transport systems.
Yeah, you talk about transport systems all fucking day, and then the top of the weather and stuff. But no, the Leisure Dome. My God, what the hell's going on over there? You know, it's huge. It's
fucking massive.
Yeah,
they have like escape rooms and shit as well, which we didn't. This also just to clarify, this episode is not sponsored by Pleasure Dome or Leisure Dome. But no, the bowling was cool.
Yeah, the bowling was very good. It had magnetic like pin. It's kind of freaky.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of freaky. Yeah. And I had like the different settings and stuff. Like it's proper high tech. Like Leisureplex, take fucking note. What the hell is happening down there?
This was futuristic.
It was futuristic.
It didn't help. There was a dude beside us who he was something straight out of a film.
Yeah.
AirPods in, by himself, watching something, listening to something, bowling by himself.
The little Lebowski. And
you look over at how long he has left. And when we sat down, it was 2 hours and 45 minutes.
This guy was bowling for like, he'd been bowling for a long time as well.
He was 6 games in at that stage.
He had the AirPods in. And what was he watching on this thing?
No idea. I wish I knew.
I'm pretty sure it was just a loop of an ad. Like it was just some guy talking kind of like selling something like on the screen. Because I can't look because I was so curious about this guy's like backstory. Like what the hell is he doing here?
I wonder if it's just like you know those kind of 80s self-help tapes,
maybe, yeah,
something like that. Like you can do it.
You got this. You know, be the predator.
Yeah.
Be the man. You are the man. You know, that kind of thing's like Arnie.
Seize the day.
Seize the day. Carpe diem, bro. No, it's one of those things. Just like it's at the end of like a fucking an episode of Dispatches or something like that. It's like the suspect was found at a bowling alley. Members of the public thought it was suspicious that this man was bowling for 4 hours straight on his own on a Saturday afternoon. It's like what?
He was fucking good.
This guy was surprisingly bad at bowling, from what I could tell.
From what for that level of dedication, or just doing it. You think if you're
I just expect him to be. Maybe bowling's a lot harder than I thought. Well, obviously because I'm shit at bowling. I finished last.
Bro, I'm not trying to be an arsehole. You might be the worst bowler I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm so bad. Like, I know. I accept that I'm a terrible bowler. It goes back. It's my childhood trauma. It's my toxic trait. I'm terrible at bowling.
It's the only thing wrong with me.
I finished last in our game. I'm so bad at bowling. But I spent 4 hours on a Saturday afternoon playing bowling. Like, it's like this guy. He's like,
so you're gonna get good mark.
Yeah, you got triple my score. But like, I don't spend 4 hours on a Saturday afternoon playing bowling. I don't know. I was interested in his backstory. But yeah, no, I am terrible at bowling.
I did that every single person there. We did the double gutter.
The double gutter ball. Yeah, it's hard. I need those borders up. Like I need those borders. I need to do something to whack it off.
Put the walls up.
Stick the walls
Separate
up.
us.
Build that wall. You know, get me out of the gutter. I was in bits, absolute bits. You know, I threw it directly into the gutter more than once. You know, just straight in. So that doesn't make sense. So you have to almost do it on purpose. It's like that's not how the arm hinge joint works. You know. But no, yeah, Owen was the victor, of course, because we let him win.
Yeah.
Because it's his birthday.
Thanks, guys.
No.
I tell you what I picked up from the Leisure Dome.
What?
I picked up a souvenir. A little Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Because I have finished the Star Wars movies. I've done it.
Segway City. Did you orchestrate this?
But yeah, I finished the Star Wars films. Finished with the sequels. I even watched Rogue One, but I'll get into Rogue One maybe in a bit. Maybe if I talk about Solo, the Han Solo's origin film, maybe I'll talk about Rogue One. I don't have a lot to say about Rogue One.
Wait, have you seen all of them?
I've seen the prequels, The OG series
I mean,
and
like,
the sequels.
Like, as in the sequels, as in the 3 sequels.
The
or
3
like
sequels.
all of them. Like Solo, Rogue One, all that box.
No, I haven't seen Solo, but I watched Rogue One.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I have one more Star Wars film left.
Cool.
Because I'm not touching that the Clone Wars animated film.
Fuck that.
Because I might just watch the actual Clone Wars. Because that's fucking good, man. I remember watching that when I was a kid.
The Cartoon Network show.
Yeah.
Kind of freaks me out, the animation, though.
Yeah, but Darth Maul's in it, so.
Who?
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, he is, yeah.
But yeah. So, these sequels. I guess we'll start with The Force Awakens. I've got so many thoughts on these sequels.
Force Awakens. Yeah. Did you see this in cinemas?
I did not. I watched it when it first came out though, on a dodgy box. And I wasn't even into Star Wars at the time, and I was like, yeah, it's alright. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's grand. Now that I've watched it, having seen all the films and consider myself a Star Wars film, it's a bad movie.
It's a bad movie.
It's a bad movie.
I was very, very hyped for Force Awakens. I was brainwashed by the marketing, the Disney marketing machine. I was like, whoa.
The hype, bro.
The hype city. Man, when the first trailer dropped, if we rewatched it, it's like, it's still very, very...
It's a great trailer.
It's a great, like, it's just like the Millennium Falcon coming into view, and like, what?
Do you know what it was? It's a perfect piece of nostalgia. Like, just nice little touches of nostalgia from the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer is, it's like, because that's what you want. That's a great sell.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great, oh, look, it's back, you know, and we're going to do it again. But in your head, you're like, we're going to do it again. And like, oh, what are the possibilities? Like, what could happen? This could be so good. It looks good. The effects are good. The music is all there. It's hitting, everything's on cue. And then you watch it. I remember watching it, you know. Reminds me of the Avengers. I was very hyped for the Avengers as well.
I think the Avengers actually lived up, though.
The Avengers, I can tell you for a fact it did not.
I think it did.
The Avengers,
at the time it did.
If it lived up to the extent that it needed to make its money. Because people were like, oh yeah, like Avengers is so cool. I was hyped for that film for years. A bit like a sad amount of time. I was like, Avengers is going to be so cool. Because I was a big fan of Iron Man. And then I was watching the other ones. Like, oh, these are pretty good. And I was like, oh, they're all going to be together? I was like, that's a really good idea. And then I watched the cinemas and I was like, this is like, fucking, this is a bunt. This is so boring. So boring.
The action was cool at the end. I've only seen it the one time.
At the end, man, at the end, I remember tuning back in at the end. I was just, because I was watching it the entire time. And
yeah, but that's just an Avengers. That's just every Marvel film.
I know, yeah, but this is the first one where like it wasn't the first. It was the first one where it was supposed to be like this big event, and this big snake thing comes past like the tower at the end.
Cool. And the Hulk smashing it up.
No, I was like, this is fucking dog shit. I was like, this is terrible. I was like 14. I was like, oh, this is so bad. I was mad edgy, but Force Awakens was very, very similar vibe. I was like, I'm so hyped. I was like, oh, this sounds gonna be really good. I love Star Wars. I always love Star Wars. I was like, this is going to be really cool. J.J. Abrams, I liked what he did with Star Trek, even though some people didn't. I wasn't a Star Trek fan, so I didn't care.
That's why I'm interested now watch the Star Trek films, just to see, like...
They're good.
What if he makes a sci-fi film that is for a franchise that I do not care about, and can't hit with the nostalgia of it? Like, any of those nostalgia shots...
Super 8.
Don't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
Super 8's kind of like that as well.
It's just nostalgia, yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But now, like, Star Trek is actually...
He just makes nostalgia movies.
Yeah, Star Trek is... those films are good, you know? And people... the fans hate them for, like, different reasons. For, like, oh, like, he betrayed the story. Which is, like, almost the reverse of why Star Trek fans... Well, it's actually kind of similar. But no, like, Star Trek... Star Wars fans. Star Wars Force Awakens. It came out, and it's like... You were thinking from the trailer, all these possibilities, what could happen. Oh, it's all very secretive.
Mm-hmm.
The way the original movies were made. It's like... There's no leaks, and no one knew what was going to happen. All the reviews are very positive, and you watch it in cinema, it's like, this is the middest film I've ever watched. This is like so. It's like such like fuck it. This is a non-entity. This is like I was like, I just wasted 2.5 hours of my time.
That's the perfect.
It's like
it's the middest film I've ever seen.
Nothing there. Like, there's just nothing. It's just a replay of the old film, and then it's like, remember this. Remember that. Remember this.
It even like comments on it in some parts, because they have that little alien with the tiny little eyes, and she's got the glasses and stuff.
She's so irritating. Oh my god.
She's like super knowledgeable or something. I can't remember what the fuck she actually does.
She's got a big head.
She's smart or something. I can't remember. Or she knows people or something like that.
She knows people. That's her superpower.
Superpower. But they rock up to her gaff, and because they're looking for something. I can't remember what they're there for.
They're looking for the lightsaber, and she's like,
They're not
you
looking
can't
for
have
the,
it.
They're not looking for the lightsaber.
Oh,
They're looking for the rebellion. That's what it is.
the rebellion.
Because they got BB-8.
They're so vague.
I know. But then fucking Rey walks down and she finds Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. And she asks this little tiny woman, after having like this mad force flashback or like, vision or whatever, asks this woman, where did you get this? And her response is, don't worry, good question, but we'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Now is not the time. You never find out where or how she got that lightsaber, because it doesn't matter. It's the same way in the film. They're running to their ship. It gets blown up. They turn around and just the Millennium Falcon is just there.
Yeah.
And they explain it later on, but it's such a like, oh, this guy sold it to this guy who sold it to this guy who sold it to that guy, which is why it ended up there. And it's like, so by chance. Now I know that the Force apparently works in that way. I don't give a fuck. It's just lazy screenwriting.
It was the Force.
was
The
the
Force
Force.
did it.
The Force did it.
How did you get the Force? The Force did it.
How did you the Force? Shut your mouth. I'm J.J. Abrams.
It was the Force. Yeah, no, it's bollocks.
And like having Kylo Ren just be a Darth Vader cosplay and somehow having hit the mask. I don't know how that works. That sky, like the Death Star, that thing blew up to pieces. I know it's in the last film, which we will get onto. We'll get onto that movie. It just doesn't, like, it's just, remember the thing that you like? There's so much of that, and it's so boring.
It's so, I like even the way Harrison Ford didn't want to come back for this film.
You can tell.
He was not, and yeah, you can tell. He's not arsed. He's just not. He's phoning it in. He's not even phoning it in. He's zooming. He's on Zoom, and he's like, yeah, whatever. He has the camera off. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just there. His body is there. His spirit is not. And Chewie's there and stuff. It's like, oh, why is this guy? He's 80 years old, like flying the milk. Like, why is he still like hanging around? Yeah. And then they kill him. And it's like, oh, Han Solo's dead.
It was good. Like, there's stuff about the film that I like. There's aspects of the film where I like. There's a lot of it that I don't.
I think the whole thing, it's rotten from the core. But it's like,
there's no soul to it in the first place, because
Yeah.
not Star Wars, Disney, like, we are going to bring back Star Wars because we want money.
Yeah, literally. It's like, how much money can we make from this film? And then they asked a lot of fucking like financial advisors to write the script for the film, and like that's then they worked in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be how it worked. Because a lot of it doesn't.
It's the most studio movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. Like, remember there's this quote from George Lucas about the original films, about how the story is just like, oh, it rhymes. It's like poetry, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It rhymes, you know, which is like, it's lampooned all the time because it's a fucking stupid quote, and the prequels don't make a lot of sense sometimes. But there is a rhyme. There's some kind of
there's a reason.
There's a story, and like it hits the beats, and like you're talking about the hills and valleys of Rome before. They're the hills and valleys of the prequels where you're like,
like that Anakin story is good.
Yeah. Like you have the hills and you have the valleys, and then you have like for example, like the final scene of Revenge of the Sith, like Qui-Gon Jinn getting blitzed, all that shit. Like there are, like, you know, Count Dooku, all this, like Palpatine. There's points in the films that are like, oh yeah, like this is hitting it. You know, this is hitting the right spot. Like this actually works. And this film, there's no rhyme at all. And all the sequels,
yeah, there's nothing like that.
There's no rhyme whatsoever. Everything is just like, it's going from set piece to set piece to set piece to set piece. And if they have no clear reason or like rhyme or reason to get to the next set piece, they'll just retcon or just like make up. Oh, it's the Force. It was the Force. It was Palpatine or something. It was Darth Vader.
We'll get on to that.
Yeah, actually, no, you're Darth Vader's son. No, actually, you're other person's son. Oh wait, you're Palpatine's daughter or whatever.
That's the last movie, though.
I know, whatever. But it's the same spirit. It's just like it's such a mess. It's like J.J. Abrams has that like reputation for like Lost. The writers didn't seem to know what they were doing.
Lost is I love Lost.
Yeah.
My God, like that's the biggest, like, oh, you are never ever gonna get an answer to your questions. Like there's so many things to be like, but what about this? It's like there's no explanation, and even the explanation that they give is shit.
yeah. These films are like that. Obviously not to the same extent because he didn't, he wasn't. Maybe he was involved to the same extent, but it's the same spirit. It's like it's just kind of like it's justifying its own existence like 10 minutes ahead of time, and that's all. That's as far as it ever seems to see.
Yeah,
Like, there doesn't seem to be any kind of like arc across the like the arc is there. It's so like
no,
it's lackadaisical. Like
that third film. Okay, fuck it. We'll move on to the second film, right? Right. Just
I haven't seen this film, by the way.
Just because the third film is
the meat.
That's the meat of like where this whole trilogy is just like will we remember for being bad.
Yeah.
But like there is moments in Force Awakens that I think are pretty good, and then The Last Jedi comes out, and Mark, I think you need to see this film because it's heartbreaking watching this film and seeing the stuff that was set up and how it will never go. Like
give me a quick rundown of The Last Jedi.
Like in The Last Jedi, right? The lads, they're on the escape again.
They're on the lam.
They're literally just like they do an attack at the start against the, what are they called?
The First Order.
The First Order.
Terrible name, by the way.
Awful name. But anyway, they do it against the First Reich, and
they're the Nazis.
And they jump to hyperspace, whatever, and then they're cruising along for a bit, and then the First Order appear again, and they're tracking them. So they're like they blitz off forwards just to get out of range of their shots, and then they just like have to keep going, and like time is running out. So two of them bail off. No, not Poe. Jeez, I can't remember the character's names. Finn, thank you. Finn and this new girl, Ruth, go off to find a hacker so they can bring him back and he can hack into the system to stop the tracker. Rey's off with Luke, which picks up directly after the end of Force Awakens.
Skellig Vikil.
And then Poe has a bigger role in it, and he's like trying to figure out because Leia dies in this one. She comes back to life, but she dies. And Poe is trying to figure out, like, trying to stall for time and stuff like that. And it's a film that has a lot of flaws, but first and foremost, it is visually the best looking Star Wars film.
I've seen clips. And
man.
It's Rian Johnson, isn't it? That's because
it's gorgeous. Oh, there's so many shots that are just beautiful. There's this fight in this red room with red stormtroopers. Fucking sick. Looks great. And then just like all the start of the film, like the bombers coming down, which doesn't make any sense. They're dropping bombs in space.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah. Well, I had the Death Star blow up. It's no fire in space.
Doesn't matter, bro. This is sun. Yeah, there's just stuff like that. But dropping bombs in outer space was a new one.
That is silly. Yeah.
But anyway, they're dropping bombs in outer space, and that whole scene is very good. It's very tense, and people complain about certain aspects of the film. I think it's a lot of bollocks. It's not a perfect film.
What happens? What's the meat and bones? Luke Skywalker dies
at the very end. So Luke is training Rey, and we find out the past of Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker, and like why Kylo's bad. And you got Kylo, who's like he is connected to Rey and can see her, and they can communicate to each other, and they can actually physically pass stuff to each other through the Force and stuff like that. And you got Snoke, who's actually in this film, and you find out who he is, and then he dies. And it's class. It's so unexpected. Great fucking scene. And then at the end, Kylo Ren takes over the First Order, and Rey and all the boys have to leg it because he's like, he's too powerful. And Luke is killed because he like force ghosts himself to Kylo to distract him so that the lads can run. That's a quick rundown.
That's so stupid.
There's so much in this film.
At the end, that.
It's a 2.5 hour long film, Mark. I think he might even be over that. It's a long enough film.
No, your rundown was very good. It's just the idea of like he forced ghost himself to death.
He ghosted himself to death.
Yeah.
But it's really good. I think it's like up there in the better half of the Star Wars franchise.
What compared to the prequel films, which one is it better than?
It's better than Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones.
Really?
It's better than Rogue One. It's possibly better than Return of the Jedi as an overall film.
Stop the lights. Stop the lights.
As an overall
That's
film.
sacrilege. Wasn't this film? Was this film that was hated? Was it
This
this film, or it was hated by incels or something
This
like that?
film was hated so much that like we got the Rise of Skywalker and how it just tries to course correct and be like, no, we're like retcon every single thing, like undo everything that the Last Jedi did, because
Why was it hated so much?
I don't know, because it's really different. Like it's a film that's about letting go of your past and learning from the past and moving on.
Yeah.
Like that's what the film is about. So like in loads of ways it's undermining, not undermining, what's the word? What's
Moving
the
on.
word? No.
Transcending.
No, doing unexpected things. What's the word?
Don't know.
Oh, that's gonna fucking do my head in. It's doing things that you're not expecting you to do.
Subverting.
Subverting your expectations. Thank you. It subverts your expectations and like the way that you think things are gonna play out. Like one of the things in the film is Poe and can't remember her name. They have a whole B plot, right?
Yeah.
And this whole thing takes up a chunk of the movie so they can get a hacker and they can go to this thing to hack the terminal so that the rebels can escape, right? And they fail. It doesn't happen.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
they don't do. They can't escape that way. They get caught. So that whole subplot is like people are like, "What's the point of it if they failed?" And it's like, "No, dickhead.
Yeah.
The point is that they failed."
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Because I remember hearing about that. It's like, why was there such a pointless like side story kind of thing? And it was related to your one. I remember she was involved in it, but I never actually seen the film. But I just remember a lot of the criticism seemed a bit shallow, or like there's a lot of like backlash against the criticism.
It's just a lot of bollocks. And like you can say, like I don't even think that the scenes are that boring or anything like that. Like it's like this. The subplot as well is also where they cram in all this like political message about the people that profiteer off war, and like they go to this bougie ass rich casino where like the richest people in the galaxy there to try and find someone, right? And everyone there is profiteering off the war that they're fighting in.
Yeah.
And they're also abusing animals, there's child abuse, there's like slavery and stuff like that. So they're making a point about that in the subplot, which also then
It's good.
it doesn't feel like it's worth it then, I guess, to some people.
Yeah.
Because they don't succeed. But like as in if you're not into that political messaging, and it's kind of like it's only alright as well. Like it's not a great subplot.
It feels like the kind of thing that would be made a lot better if it was like kind of capstoned in a later part. If they saw the three films as, because obviously George Lucas envisioned the first three films, like the 70s films, as like basically a single story.
Yeah.
And then the prequels are the exact same. The sequels don't seem to follow that whatsoever.
No, they don't.
You know?
Because there's not a clear message throughout.
Yeah.
Because clearly, like, Rian Johnson went in ways that, like, J.J. Abrams was not expecting whatsoever. In my opinion, kind of better ways.
He's a better director.
Hey, man,
like,
it's such a much better film. It's a better film by a mile by either two. And like, all the character stuff, like, the Kylo Ren stuff is really, really good. Like, Kylo Ren just being fucking mental and like having this connection to Rey and trying to bring her over to the light side or the dark side even. He kills Snoke. He's the leader of the First Order. His hatred to Luke, like how he's blinded by his rage constantly. The guilt he feels over killing his dad, where he's like, oh, it's trying to make him a good guy and stuff like that. So good. Leia's stuff is really cool. Like Poe's story is really good. It's about like how he needs to. It is essentially like you need to shut the fuck up and just believe in the people that are above you. Like that's his story because he went off rogue and got a lot of people killed, and now he's not being told what the plan is, and he stages a coup at one stage to try and like correct course, but then because then he fails because the other guys failed. It's like it's a film about failure. A lot of people fail. And people don't like what Luke is in this film because Luke's like, fuck this. He gets a lightsaber and then chucks it behind his back. And for some reason, that really pisses off.
Man, that is stupid, to be fair.
I don't understand why.
He's just like, stupid.
He's just like, fuck that. Like, I'm not, he's like the epitome of like, I am not interested.
Yeah, but stupid. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
He just chucked it. He doesn't care about it.
That's just, no. I don't even know what comparison I can make, but like, because I've seen that. That's pretty iconic scene. Like, But that's fucking stupid.
I don't think
what
it's
are you
that bad.
doing?
I don't
It's
think
just
it's that bad.
oh yeah, fuck that. It's like like subverting your expectations is one thing. Just like that's just kind of like laughing at the audience. Like, oh, look at that. I don't care.
I don't see it as that though, because like it's a Star Wars film.
He should be like, no, this is not the way, or something like that.
Yeah, you expect him to do that, and he doesn't do that. He just fucks it behind him.
Yeah.
And other people are like, oh, it's such a disrespect to fans. How?
It's not disrespectful. It's just stupid.
You can think
Fuck
it's
the
stupid.
fans.
Fuck
Fuck
the fans.
Star Wars fans. I don't care. It's disrespectful. It's like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. It's not disrespectful, but it's just stupid.
It's
like,
just stupid.
So what are you playing? It's like, she should be like, oh, he's a very serious guy, you know. It just seemed a bit silly. But obviously, I haven't seen the full film, so
it's also Star Wars.
it's totally out of context. Star Wars is a bit silly, but it's also like, the hero's journey, and even then, like this,
it's too mythical to be that level of silly.
yeah,
like, not
yeah.
even like mythical. It's too like the film itself is so like ooh magic.
yeah. And even like what you're saying here kind of ties back into that, like how you're describing the film. It seems like it's kind of like because you have like the you know the standard art, like the hero's journey kind of thing. You know? And you always have to have that. It's like all hope is lost. You know. So if you consider it as the three films, as one story, as the other trilogies were considered, then the second film has to have that moment where it's like, oh, everything's fucked. We're about to lose. You know. And the other films, the other sequels always kind of have that moment, you know.
Yeah.
Like Empire Strikes Back, obviously. Where it's like, oh, like we're fucked, you know. It's like Luke, like the most iconic scene, like probably one of the most iconic scenes ever. It's like Luke getting his hand chopped off. It's like, no, I have the upper hand. Like you're like, I'm your father. You didn't even notice. Get the fuck down that hole. Like fuck off. And like the film ends basically. It's like that's like all hope is lost, you know. It just seems like bizarre for people to react, you know, against that spirit being carried forward in the sequel trilogy, you know.
That's the thing. Because like it is a good movie. Like it's a bit like there's some shit things, but like it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. It's really, really not that bad. I think it's a pretty good film.
Out of 5.
4.
4. Bro, what the hell?
I'll give full stars. It will be 3.5.
Okay, cool.
But it's a 4-star film.
Okay.
It's in the upper echelon of the Star Wars trilogy. Or
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Like more of a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
But
yeah,
like
fair.
still good. Still very good.
Okay.
Rise of Skywalker.
Ooh, controversial.
Talk about a film that like just okay, because you already said it, like it retcons. It's just a shit movie. It's just bad.
It's all over the shop. But to be fair, it does look pretty good.
It's a 1-star film.
You put this 1 star. 1
star
out of 10.
Out of 5.
Out of 5. Okay, so 2 out of 10. Damn, man. Damn. Yeah, like it is just dog shit. Because like obviously I'm missing like a huge part because I didn't watch.
It's so annoying seeing things set up in Last Jedi and for nothing, for the film to actively be like, why the fuck do you like that? Here's something else, and here's something else that's fucking 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Like it's set up in The Last Jedi that Rey's family were nobody. She's not the daughter of anyone famous. She's a nobody. And that's the point, that she comes from nothing. Meanwhile, Kylo he's a Skywalker. He has the weight of this name behind him, and it's like how those two characters play off each other. And then this film's like, no, Palpatine is back and Rey's his granddaughter.
Like, I don't know, has there ever been a justification for like how did Palpatine come back?
I have no idea.
Why did they include that in the film? Like it's just so
it's in the title crawl.
It's in the title crawl. Yeah, Palpatine is like, you left like a voice note.
The dead speak.
The dead Palpatine has spoken.
It's a good Palpatine voice.
But like that line, and the thing is, like that famous line, somehow Palpatine is back. I pretty misquoted that, but like
something like that.
It's something like that. But like that scene comes out of nowhere, nearly. Like it just happens.
It just happens.
It's just like they're doing something, and like there's a scene, and then it's like they're in the forest and they're having like a little huddle, and Poe was like, "Yeah, you know, Palpatine's back."
Yeah,
and everyone's like, "What?"
But like, weird. Palpatine is back.
Yeah, but the viewer's like,
well, no, he shouts out. He tells the world. He tells the universe. That's the dead speak. He transmits his voice and says, "I'm back. get ready for some reason.
Why would he say that?
Yeah.
Why would he give his position away? This guy's terrible.
Because he's not even fully back yet.
Yeah, he's like reassembling himself.
I've no idea. Like, that's the thing with him in this film, is like no idea what his. You have that fucking forced dyad show is at the start of the film, which like I'm not like. There's bad stuff throughout the film. Like Kylo Ren dies, then it's like no, he's back. Chewie dies, and immediately it's like no, he's back. It's so many things in the film. Rey dies, no, she's not.
Yeah. Oh,
like.
back.
For a film that's only 2.5 hours, it feels like it should be like 4 to try and fit in all the things that it clearly wants to do and explain.
Yeah.
But my God, it's so bad.
Yeah, no, there's just like there's no saving this. But like it would be interesting to see what maybe Johnson would have envisioned. Maybe just because it is so disjointed. Like it doesn't like the first one isn't good. First of all, it's a bad start.
It's a very open start, which is why it's kind of bad because it's not like no. Like I think
it's not
like
going anywhere. Like.
Finn being a rogue stormtrooper is a cool idea set up in the first film.
Yeah, it's alright.
Second film, he's like learning about love and stuff like that, and that's the second thing. Third one, what is Finn's arc in the third film? What's his story? He shoots Rey a lot, and then he has a black girlfriend kind of at the end. Of course, because that's safe.
Yeah, easy.
So much safer than an Asian black couple. Like in the second film, so they made him up black, so it's like, that's safe.
Yeah, we'll just go with that one. Yeah, we focus group this with 10 different people, and yeah, it kind of worked out.
I don't think they actually are with each other, but it's definitely set up that way.
It's implied. It's heavily implied. You know, they can't for the Chinese audience. They can't have that. You know, for you know, you need that market. You need that market. But like fucking hell, yeah. No, it's a non-entity. The first and the third film are like basically the same, but they're shit in the same kind of way. So they seem totally unrelated. And they both seem way more focused on being kind of like, oh, remember that? Remember this? It's like Leia. Honestly, Leia really annoys me. I find it really fucking annoying. But she was dead, or
she died.
Carrie Fisher was dead by the time of the third film. Why is she even in this film?
So
like
they
she
just leave her dead body out for ages in the film.
Yeah, it's like that's
weird.
That's gonna go down in posterity. That's gonna go down as like highly like disrespectful and creepy. Like, you know, it's like, why do they do that? It's like that's not a tribute. It's just weird. As like, she doesn't really she doesn't talk. She's just kind of there like, oh, like Palpatine's back, and she's just kind of like, oh God. She's just like, her eyes are just like, fuck's sake.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because she can't talk because she's dead, like in real life. It's just really, they should have killed all 3 of the original. Han should have never come back at all. He should have been dead.
Coming back again in this film though.
Oh, no, they all should have been.
That's a good scene though. There's one good scene in this film, and it's when Kylo Ren talks to Han Solo.
His dad.
Yeah.
Ben Solo.
That is the best scene.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's a recap of what he said before he kills his dad in the first film, but this time he's talking about being a good guy. He's like, I know what I must do, but I'm not sure if I'm strong enough to do it. And Indiana Jones is like, you can do it, kid.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And then he does. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
But like
that's an arc.
It's an arc.
It's
that's not established throughout the rest of the film.
Yeah, but it's like an arc. It's like the first point in at the end of the first film, and then like near the end of the third film, like you're supposed to have like, you know, like a rainbow in between. It's like there's like nothing. It's just kind of like it's like a fucking stock market graph. Like just going like, oh, where's this going? You know, it just arrives at that point. But it's not like, it doesn't seem very properly kind of elaborated.
You may well have
like
not
realized
watched the first film or the second film. Like realistically, you could watch this film straight after The Force Awakens. You're not really missing that much.
Yeah. Because they're both just so disjointed.
Just could be like, oh, Snoke's. Just remember, Snoke's dead. That's the only point that you need to worry about.
Yeah. But no, they should have killed Luke. Luke should have been killed in combat in the first one. Leia should have been blown up or something like that. Whatever. Who cares? Han Solo should have already been dead, in my opinion, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe killed in combat as well. Yeah, or the same way he died. But yeah, there's just way too much calling back, and being like, oh, this is what it is. And like, it is interesting what you say about the second film. The idea that it would be like, or even the original idea that Leia, or not Leia, sorry, Rey was just like a nobody, because that was like a common, like all the main characters in all the films. It's like, oh, the princess, you're like the chosen one. You're the, you know,
you're related to this person.
Yeah, you're
I'm your father.
You're royalty. Yeah, I'm your father. You know, this is everything's on your shoulders, stuff like that. It's just, it'd be cool. It would have been made more sense in a kind of like a dramatic kind of way, to have someone who's just like a literal nobody. I would have tied into what you're talking about, like the actual plot point of like Poe and Kira or whatever going around and like being like just seeing. It would have made more sense, that plot point, for them to like be seeing how all these people are kind of like enriching themselves. Like there's that aspect isn't like touched on in any of the films at all.
Yeah, no.
Except like very briefly in the political scenes in like
The prequels.
The prequels, yeah. So it would have been cool to kind of. Well, maybe the overarching thing is this film, like these films don't seem to like recognize the prequels at all. Like
they
very
also
vaguely, like
they also are just like they don't recognize each other.
yeah, of course.
Like
yeah.
this is and like the thing is as well. It's like when I watched the last film, it's like this doesn't feel like a film. Like this doesn't feel like a Star Wars film. This feels like a film about Star Wars. The film is so aware of.
Yeah,
like you can just see the hands all over this film. You can't get absorbed into the movie whatsoever. There's like no soul to any of it.
Yeah.
I despise this film.
Yeah, like the remember if before Force Awakens was load of buzz about how it's practical effects. Yeah, it's practical. He's not like, it's not George Lucas inserting Anakin into like different scenes. It's not like, CGI Yoda. It's like it's
actual Muppet Yoda.
Yeah. It's like it's actual like practical effects, man. But like they're still. I think people stop caring about practical effects kind of after these films, because it doesn't make any difference. Like it's still fucking soulless, like trollop. Like there's nothing there. It's just
the fact that it's more like authentic is actually more inauthentic now.
Yeah, because we're gonna listen to the fans and like do this, but then like totally ignore every other aspect of making a film.
It's if Reddit wrote a script.
Yeah. It's like what the hell?
Yeah, no, it's bad. And then then Rey at the end is like, after Palpatine turns into a fucking laser in the sky. I thought he looked cool when he was like all ghoulish, but then when he gets revitalized because he sucks the life force out of. So anyway, just to rewind a bit, he wants Rey to kill him so that he can then take over her body. That's what he says.
Possess her, yeah.
Why would you tell her that?
Yeah, what? So this guy is the worst tactician of all time.
She was gonna kill you. Like, she was going to kill you until you said that.
Yeah, like he's just giving away all of us. It's like, I'm back, announcing to everyone. It's like, where's the element of surprise? It's like I want you to do what you're about to do.
But I'm going to tell you about it.
Yeah.
So now you got conflict and you're not going to do it.
So now you won't do it, yeah.
So then he's like, so I will possess you, and like my Palpatinism in you will grow into just me. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm going to become you. It'll still be your body, but your soul, your mind will be me.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like looking out, and she sees her friends dying. He's like, if you kill me, you'll gain the power to save your friends. But it's like, you just said that it won't be her, so no, she won't. Yeah. And then she goes to kill him again. And then she doesn't kill him, and they fight him off. And then Palpatine's like, Kylo Ren shows up, and Palpatine's like, ooh, you're a dyad of the Force. I can suck the life out of the two of you, and now I don't need you to kill me. It's like, what the fuck is this? It's like plot, like
too much lore.
There's no nothing was set up. It's just being launched at you like fucking darts on a board.
It's like, oh, you're a dyad. Let me possess you. What? What does this have to do with Star Wars?
So bad. And then Kylo Ren dies and gives the most awkward kiss to Rey after they defeat
they're not related,
Palpatine.
Right?
No, they're not.
They're not related. Yeah,
they're not,
because they were at the start of the series.
No, yeah, they're not Luke and Leia.
It's retcon.
This is okay.
It's retcon. Yeah, it's okay. They can bone.
They can bone.
They can bone.
But yeah, it's just like
yeah, they both die and come back.
No, Rey. Yeah, they both die and come back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, shocking.
It's bad.
Shocking.
Bad film.
Kind of a shame.
Because it just like completely fucks up everything else in the two films. Because then it's like there's no point to any of it, because this is what it leads to.
Yeah. It's all kind of I think it's the foundation stones. All starts from the first one. It's like, what are you playing at? What are you playing at? So
you can't build a gaff on quicksand.
That's it. It's built on it's built on fucking Tatooine. Like, what's going on?
They go back to Tatooine as well.
Yeah.
They go back. Leave that poor planet alone.
Yeah, it's like, what did it ask? It's like, what was Exegol? It's like some randoms like, oh, it's an uncharted planet.
It's just another Tatooine.
Yes, just some planets hiding out.
Oh, it's bad. Bad movie. I'm going to talk about Rogue One. I'll talk about that next time.
Right.
After I watched not Obi-Wan. What was it?
Solo.
Jesus. Yeah, fucking hell.
Cool. Yeah, rip to Star Wars.
Rip the Star Wars, you know.
Maybe next generation.
Maybe. We go for a quick break.
Let's do it.
And now, continuing on with the Alien vs. Predator franchise review with our first installment in the actual Alien vs. Predator films.
AVP, baby.
Directed by
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah. The man behind
Paul
Boogie Nights.
Thomas Anderson.
The Master. Yeah.
W. Wes. No. That's
which Wes, the man behind Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah,
That's who it is. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, Wes Anderson, PTA, all the boys. It's a big, huge...
it's a huge effort.
Yeah. It's like a Coen brother movie as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is... So, right. I actually... Just before we get on to this film, I actually went and read a bit of the first Alien vs. Predator comic book.
Oh my god.
Why? Shout out to the Internet Archive because it was on that. Because we were saying
that's
about
not going to last long either. See, it lost the court case.
Did it actually?
Yeah.
Shit, grab what you can, boys.
Yeah.
It's just up on that. So I downloaded it and I started reading it, and it's interesting. Like, it's way different to this film. Like, the Alien vs. Predator comics are like, there's a few. Like, I got the first volume or omnibus, the first omnibus. So it's 408 pages.
Jesus.
And like, it's number 1. So there's like other omnibuses, I'd imagine. So like old and long. So like, watching this film, which is from 2004, they're so different. It's just like the vibes in each one. Like, this is such an early 2000s film.
It really is. In many different ways.
In like the best ways and kind of the worst ways.
Definitely, yeah, a lot of the worst ways.
Like, he had directed Resident Evil before he did this one. So they're like, comic book adaptation, or like, video game adaptation, pretty decent video game adaptation. Yeah, fuck it. If there's going to be a guy to do an AVP film, I guess it's going to be this guy.
Let's give it this guy, yeah.
If it has to be, if you have to pick someone, I really like Paul W. Sanderson though. I like, Jesus, that was not coming through the Chromecast. Fucking hell.
Did you get that for your birthday?
What?
The tablet?
No, I've had this tablet ages.
Have you?
Yeah. Bought this ages ago. It's pure. This is one of my lockdown purchases.
Oh, alright.
Some of those Leo book boys,
Yeah.
No other period in my time would I've ever bought a tablet, because who the fuck has a tablet in 2023? This guy right here. All thanks to you, Leo. I can't get it. But like, I really like the Resident Evil films, as I've talked about before, and this movie really reminds me of the first Resident Evil film, just because the plot is like basically the same thing.
Yeah.
They go into a lab in Resident Evil. They go into a temple in this. They go all the way down to the bottom in Resident Evil to get the virus. They go all the way to the bottom in this one to unleash the aliens. They have to fight. Hello, it is Owen from the future editing this podcast, and we experienced some technical difficulties here. So it was about 10 seconds of dead air. So I'm just gonna fill it in with me. Okay, thanks. Back to the show.
He's kind of the bad guys, but then like he's also like the good guy.
But then they're like, oh
randomly.
Shit, yeah, we really fucked up here. We completely underestimated all of this.
Yeah.
We are not prepared.
Yeah, no, the actual, the kind of like the mechanics, like the logic behind a lot of the story is really interesting. I found
Same.
it's kind of cool. You know, the idea that you know, these the predators come down and use Earth and humans basically as like use Earth as like a
playing field.
Yeah, a playing field, like a battleground. Obviously, that's kind of like it's there's previous there from the actual Predator films, but like in this film, it's specifically about how they use it as a hunting ground to hunt aliens, who are
The ultimate species.
the ultimate prey, and killing them makes the Predator the ultimate predator. All that stuff, as if it's like sacrificial. It's like, it goes back to Aztec lore and stuff like that.
I think it's pre-Aztec War, because this is the first temple.
The first. Yeah, they taught humans. They came down, ancient aliens. A lot of this, it's kind of funny. A lot of films is some of the writing or some of like the ideas are based on like the ancient aliens kind of theories and stuff. So like apparently the predators came down and taught humans how to build pyramids, and they're worshipped as gods. And they had this whole the whole thing where like they staged this hunt, where humans are the incubators for the aliens. We're the perfect prey, and the predators need the humans as a kind of like a means to an end to produce this prey. And in that way, humans are part of the game, but like totally incidental to the actual like point, to the entire point of it, which is cool, a cool idea, and kind of goes back to the
winner. Whoever wins,
we lose. Really good tagline. Really good tagline, and it kind of, you know, really obliquely goes back to the original point of like Alien, which is never really touched on. Kind of Predator is never really touched on in any of the other films, which is like the idea that like we're like vast, we're meaningless, we're nothing.
We are insignificant.
Yeah, we're insignificant here. This is a totally, you know, we're alone, and we're just you know, we're just fucking insects
in the greater
in
the
the
grander
jungle.
scheme of the jungle. In our small patch of the jungle, we're the top dogs. But in the grand scheme of the jungle, we're just ants.
Yeah, it could be anything out there. Yeah, could be anything. It's really, it's not a very tenuous connection there.
Yeah, no, because that's not really in the film.
It's not in the film, but like in the story, it's like, I kind of see.
It's a cool story.
Yeah. The lore is all like, it's all kind of explained the first part of the film, and then you're like,
and that's in the original comic.
The comic sounds like it would be like way better.
The comic has this fucking huge long exposition dump at the start where they're basically having like, you know, morals and ethics. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's all about like who is top dog. They basically have the jungle analogy. It's like, but what if we're not?
Might makes right.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, so then the aliens and all that stuff comes into it. And like, okay, so the actual film itself, it's kind of sorry. Like,
I'm not a huge fan, I have to say.
It's
not a huge fan.
It's not the worst.
It's so dark. Because I remember I watched...
Oh, Mark, you wait until the next film.
I watched part of this film when I was a lot younger. Because I remember seeing a lot of the scenes, especially towards the end. I think my parents let me watch... I don't know how young I was, but my parents let me watch certain parts after, like, you know, there's like certain... Because gore. There's a little bit of gore.
It's a 15s film.
Yeah.
Which was a complaint at the time.
Yeah, it should have been 18s.
Which is what happens in the next one.
Yeah, it's kind of like on the ropes, you know, because like the facehugger stuff is disturbing.
Yeah, man, that just conceptually is enough to be 18s.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, but after that, I think I've seen most of like the film after. After that's mostly like I've seen the end of the film. I remember her like doing all, you know, her superhero stuff. I wasn't really sure what the dynamics of like what the Predator and the aliens were doing, but like I remember seeing it.
I don't think I ever really. I think I the same thing when I watched this when I was younger. I was like, alright, this film's not confusing.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's happening. Yeah, it's like they're in a pyramid and like why are they? But anyway,
I think it's just because the themes are so grand.
Yeah.
That like they don't really latch on when you're younger.
It's too complicated.
The scope is too great. This film is like an odyssey.
Yeah, I remember I watched it. We used to have like I watched it in like the back room, and used to have like the sauna come in. And I remember it was just this film basically being even with the curtains closed, it was like impossible to watch.
Yeah.
Just whatever way the TV was set up, it was just like I couldn't really see what was happening. This film was so dark. There's no color at all. It's basically a black and white film.
It's grey.
It's just really grey. I'm not a fan of that. Never a fan of that. I hate when that happens. But that's as we're saying at the start of this segment, it's 2000s, mid 2000s. So many films, all the films that do this are like mid 2000s ish, you know. So it's kind of part of the stylistic package. But it's a part that I really don't like, and I found really annoying.
Yeah, it is frustrating.
It's kind of
What the fuck is that?
What happened there?
Wait until the next film, Mark. I'm not joking. You're gonna hate the next film.
Yeah.
There's literally scenes in the next film where even if you're watching on the high def best picture in the dark, you can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
Like it's literally impossible to see what's happening.
Is it also directed by Paul?
No, it's someone else.
Some other chap.
Because like this film's fine. I think this film is
alright.
grand. It's not the worst thing. It's bang in the middle. Do you know what this is? It's a 3-star film.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. Yeah, it's so middle of the road. In a way, that's better than Force Awakens.
Maybe 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
What did I say? No, that's it. The Last Jedi is not a 7 out of 10 with Alien vs Predator being a 6. I don't like that.
Yeah. No, like it's alright. Like it's not a great film. It's
it's grand.
It's alright.
Like, yeah. Where would you rate it in the canon?
Like, I don't know. Like, because it's just it doesn't.
What's it better than?
It's better than.
It's better than Alien 3.
I don't know. I can't even remember Alien 3 at this stage.
It's better than Alien 4.
But I remember kind of being like, Alien 3, I was kind of like weirded out by why people hated it so much. So I'd say it isn't better than Alien 3.
I'm pretty sure there's a Slipknot song in this film. Come on, Mark.
Slipknot, yeah.
There's definitely a Korn song.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is banging. In all the ways that it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That only adds to it.
See, beyond like as a member of the canon of the overall franchise, this is for me. It's like the most like just like out there. Not in like terms of it's so crazy. It's just like this is like it's kind of like unrelated to the rest. And obviously it is unrelated to the rest.
Yeah, of course it is.
But like
it expands on the themes, Mark.
Yeah, but like it's just kind of like it's off on its own thing. Like stylistically, thematically.
Oh yeah. Stylistic. Well, no, I think stylistically, it's more along the veins.
It's a Predator film
of Alien.
Really.
4.
Alien 4. Yeah, I was gonna say like
because they're not that far apart.
Yeah, it kind of feels like an Alien 4. Honestly, I'm not gonna rewatch Alien 4, but I'd have to rewatch it to assess. To assess.
Stylistically, how did these two?
It's around the same. Like they're both like. Alien 4 is bad, so I don't know if that's in comparison to the rest of the Alien franchise.
No, it's just a bad film.
It is just a bad film, but this is also not a great film.
It's grand.
It's not that good.
Like this is better than The Predator, which we lost last week. It's better than Alien Covenant.
Yeah, no, it's definitely better than The Predator. I'd say that.
It's definitely better than The Predator, and it's definitely better than Alien 4.
It's actually it's comparable to The Predator because it's like they're both kind of like of the time, but they're both.
Oh no, I don't agree with that at all.
I didn't watch the end of The Predator.
Yeah, you didn't see all The Predator.
I didn't see the whole thing. We watched it together, and then I was like, oh fuck yeah.
Oh, so many bad movies like recently.
But like Alien Covenant. I don't know because Alien Covenant, it's just like it's a bad movie in the context of what it followed and what it is. But like if you had never seen any film in the franchise and you watched Alien Covenant, I think you would prefer it to Alien vs Predator.
I don't agree because I think that like if you watch Alien vs Predator, well actually no, maybe it's because we've watched all the films and we have all this lore to these characters, or like to the species. Like we've watched 4 Predator films before this, and we've watched 6 Alien films.
Yeah.
And now we're coming to this point, and I don't know. I think watching it that way, just seeing these two characters actually clash, there's something to it still. I think, like,
yeah,
especially because the alien kicks the shit out of the Predators.
Yeah, it's they know what they're doing.
Oh, is it because that the Predators are fucked because they aren't fully equipped when they get into the temple?
Is that it?
I think that's the reason why they get mangled at the start.
Why aren't they fully equipped?
Because they have to go in and take the things within the bottom of the temple to start the hunt, but the humans get down there first.
Oh, okay.
So they're caught up at the top and have to work their way down to them.
Yeah.
To get that shit.
Yeah, like a lot of it isn't very clear. It's kind of like not just like visually, but some of the story elements. like aside from exposition dumps and stuff, and what you can read about based on the comics,
Yeah.
it's like it's not really clear what exactly
No,
is happening. You know,
not really.
yeah.
It's very like
But
it kind of launches the information at you.
Yeah, but the information, like the actual, like the ideas are good.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are interesting. They are cool. And like, and again, in the sense of ideas, it's like miles better than pretty much.
It's just like Prometheus in that way.
No, not at all. Prometheus is one of the greatest films ever made. No, I'm only messing. But it's like all the sequels just kind of rehashing what happened before. This is the first time where you see a new elaboration, a new kind of a new like a development of
Something different.
development of the canon, but like it's not really clear what the development is unless you like read.
I'm not even sure what the canon is at this stage.
Yeah. It's not entirely clear, but it's all right. Like it's grand. Yeah.
It's grand. So after this, we have Alien vs Predator Requiem. The worst title.
What does Requiem mean?
No idea.
Requiem for a Dream.
Resurrection was already taken, so they had to go with this.
Requiem.
Requiem.
Requiem. It's difficult.
Requiem
Requiem.
for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream. Yeah.
So what the fuck does Requiem mean?
Don't know.
Remembering or something?
Requiem.
I'll tell you now. That I'm telling you now, that might be like if I hate that as much as I did as a kid when I watched that film. Oh man.
Be a stinker.
Oh man, I'm gonna
Box the TV in.
I'm gonna throw my phone at the TV. I'm gonna delete my letterbox account.
He's gonna rage quit movies.
Requiem was such a fucking awful film. I hate it. Shit, I just googled Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, I watched the wrong one. Yeah, you're always hating on Requiem or this film. Always.
Oh, a mass for the repose of the souls of the dead.
What does that mean? That's what it is. That's the
A
definition.
requiem was held for the dead queen.
Oh, it's like a eulogy.
A mass for the dead. So Requiem for a Dream is a mass for dead dreams.
Okay.
Which is what Requiem for a Dream is about.
Okay. So Alien vs Predator.
Requiem.
Mass for dead dreams.
Mass for dead. For the mass for the dead.
Alien vs Predator. Eulogy. Alien vs Predator. The funeral edition.
Because
Requiem.
See,
it gets harder to say.
Resurrection.
Alien
was already taken.
Resurrection.
Yeah, that's the fourth one.
So it's like, you know.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's a prayer, a prayer.
Speaking about religion, Mark.
Religion.
A recommended film of the week.
Yes.
The Wicker Tree.
Wicker Tree.
From 2011, directed by Mark.
Robin Hardy.
Thank you, because I will never remember that guy's name. A Christian singer and her boyfriend learn the real meaning of sacrifice when they run afoul of pagans in a Scottish village. I actually took notes for this film, which is the first time I've done that in a long time.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, this fucking movie.
It's a car crash.
Mark, you said on the last one that you thought that you would be a defender for this film, that you would think that this film is not that bad.
Did I say that?
You did say that.
I was wrong again.
And outside Leisure Dome, you said to me like, "Oh yeah, I watched The Wicker Tree," and I was like, "How is it?" And you said, "It spits on the grave of the Wicker Man."
It does. It's actually a war crime. It's a shambles. It's a disgrace.
It's like bad on transcendental levels. As fans of The Wicker Man, our number 3 film of the Parapod podcast ever. It's in the echelons of heaven of the Baroness.
It's oh my god.
It's this is directed by the guy that did that film.
Yeah, Robin Hardy. He's only made like 2
He's
movies.
made 2 other films.
He's made 2 other films. So he's made The Wicker Man, The Fantasist, The Bull Dance. Never heard of any of them. And then The Wicker Tree. The Wicker Man was made in 1973. One of the most iconic horror films of all time. It's like a fine wine. Ages like with grace. It's getting like more and more influential with age. And then The Wicker Tree's in 2011. don't know why he made this film. I have no idea why. It's based on a novel that he wrote called Cowboys for Christ.
Jesus.
Yeah. Which is, by all accounts, dog shit as well.
I'd imagine so.
But he wrote this novel in 2006, and then he adapted it for film in 2011. And it's pretty much, it's like he adapted his own novel, so this is his vision, and he had like 5 years to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a good idea? And he's like, yeah.
Let's go for it.
What the hell happened to you between 1973 and like the early 2000s? It's like he died in 2016. He planned to turn this into a trilogy.
Jesus.
He wanted to make Wicker Man Wrath of the Gods. But he died in 2016 before he could do so.
God. Oh, that's really sad. I would have loved to have seen that film after seeing this.
What?
Oh, Mark, come on. Imagine because
no.
This is on the levels.
The gods struck him down when they found out he was trying to make a third one.
No, man.
They were like, you.
This film is is on the levels of it's so bad it's good for me.
Really? So you're a defender of this film?
No.
You're a defender?
I am a
You're
defender.
an apologist.
I give this is a
So bad,
1.
it's good.
Mark, this is a 1 out of 10 film.
It is. It honestly it's one of the worst films I've ever seen.
But
because of the context that's in.
Yeah, the context is bad.
Makes it so
the
bad.
The film itself though, Mark. Like my first note was Jesus, that start with the music, fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Like the way that it redoes music from the first film. Like that what's the first Johnny, what the fuck's that?
Gently Johnny.
Yeah. That is like
that's a banger.
It's a banger, man. Like it's such a great opening to the first film.
And the Maypole song and stuff.
And then they kind of redo it this time, and it's so bad.
They're all it's country like fucking weird shit. And like when she's like, I don't know, but like, yeah, no, the musical aspect, like this, like the Wicker Man, you know, it's kind of like, oh yeah, the Wicker Man's kind of a musical as well. It's funny,
basically a musical.
It's like a funny little fact. It's like this horror film is actually basically a musical because the music is like so integral to the plot. And then this film, obviously, it's based as it's a sequel to that film, and it's done by the same guy, so it's following along in the same kind of same pattern. So it has loads of music involved, but all the music is just like really like dog shit
and doesn't
like
add anything.
Yeah, off-puttingly bad. Yeah, like the one where the female lead, Beth, and she's like this really chaste Christian girl, and they expose her past as a stripper, and they show this music video.
I forgot about that.
It's one of the worst. It's like it was difficult to watch. I was like I was alone in my room, and I was like avoiding the TV screen, like I was like nervous. I was like, what's happening? What is this? This is like so like awkward to watch.
I'm full spoilers for this film because like I think no one's gonna watch this film.
It's impossible to find as well.
It's difficult to find, but like that scene, right? Like the lack of subtlety in this film is baffling. It's just
the lyrics in that, man.
The lyrics are literally like, I'm a slut. I'm a slut.
Call me a whore. I'm a slut. It's like
that's basically what she's singing, and then she's like, "Oh my god, that's not me. That's not her."
Yeah.
And then just what a way to explain like these are born again Christians, that they were sex fiends essentially beforehand. Or not even sex fiends, but like what she was beforehand, being like profiteering off sex, and like, all the power to you, sister. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it's that in contrast of her now being like a good person.
We wait for marriage. Yeah. It's like it's so it's an exaggeration. It's like a porno that never gets to the end. You know.
Oh, it doesn't surprise, man. Those are the worst sex scenes I've ever seen in film.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, no, they're not. Yeah, because the original film is such heart. It's not heart, you know. It's like a folk horror film, but you feel
it has a soul.
Yeah, it has a real soul to it. It's like you feel like you're keying in to something. It feels like you are a part of whatever is happening in like on the screen. Like there's some kind of like the whole film. The film's full of dread. It's full of like this weird forebodings. Something's off. You can't entirely tell what it is. But like you can see it in every frame, and you can feel it, even the way it's shot, and the way it's like obviously it's not really under the control of the director, the way, because like it didn't have digital film back then, Well, the way, even though the way it's like kind of pieced together, it's like kind of like a lost artifact. There's different cuts of the film, and there's like the grain and the way it's like it's very naturally shot. Everything about it's like earthy. It's really like it's in there, and you see the main character. I forget his name now. The police officer, and he's there, and like even the way like he's standing, the way he's dressed, he's like so out of place.
Yeah.
Like, he's the straight man, and they're like as like the straight man in like the fucking the comedic duo. But like the joke's on him, and you can see it in every frame. He's not part of whatever's happening in this film, and it's really unnerving. It's creepy, it's also kind of playful. And this film, in like The Wicker Tree, it's just everything's just flat. Like it's so
flat.
It's so poorly shot. It's like everything looks really.
It's overacted.
It looks like
the dialogue is so blunt.
It looks like an episode of like 2 episodes like Home and Away that were like stitched together. It's like a fucking
fucked up episode of Home and Away.
Yeah. It's just like it's like this weird like spin off of Home and Away. It's like that's how it's shot. It's shot like a fucking TV. Like
it's shot like a Hallmark film.
Yeah. It's shot like a made for TV, and it basically was like an independent like bullshit film. But like there's just nothing. It's so sterile.
It's ugly looking.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's ugly. It's unbelievably sterile. It doesn't feel like you're watching this film and you're not like, oh, there's something off here.
No, man,
there's something off.
No, I was like that. I was like, there's something off here. Like,
what the hell's going on?
Green screen.
yeah.
Like some of the lighting in this film made the shots look like 3D, but like, you know, like in old 3D where like it's 2D images that you could just move towards.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. Like it looked like photographs at one stage. I was almost certain at one stage, like, I can't tell if they're on a green screen or not.
Yeah. A lot of it. Some of it isn't on a green screen. A lot of it is just really poorly lit.
Oh, it looks awful.
Because the way you can tell is Christopher Lee returns for this film. The great Christopher Lee, who played Lord Summerall in the original film, like an amazing, iconic performance, one of the greatest, like, you know, the most iconic horror characters of all time. He returns in this film for like a very brief kind of cameo, and it's also a flashback because he's like he's really old. And he's outside and he's talking to this kid who's fishing on the river. He's supposed to be outside anyway. And he's talking about whatever, like fucking, I don't know.
Yeah, he's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's like the soil and the earth and whatever, you know, all that bullshit. But like he's supposed to be outside, but he actually looks like he looks more like he's inside than anyone else in the film when it's actually being shot inside. It's like it's so obviously green, like he's outside underneath the sun, but he's being like. There's like lights coming at his face from all angles, every angle.
So brightly lit.
Yeah. It's like he's on a soundstage, and it looks so bad. And then by contrast, that makes every other scene look bad, because it's like, oh no, these aren't on green screens. They're just so badly lit that you can't tell. I also
couldn't tell. Like, was the kid that he was talking to even there in the set with him?
I don't think so, to be honest. Yeah,
because like the acting is so bad.
Yeah, it's wooden.
So that's like aesthetically, it's just like one of the ugliest films I've ever seen. And
it's
then like
shocking.
Just like it's just there's no dread in any scene, and there's weird comedy in the film as well. Like the film tries to be funny in some ways, but because like it's awkward humor, like the bit where the actor is Brittany. What the fuck was her name in the film?
Beth
and
Beth and Steve.
Steve, man.
Steve, I'm just a simple cowboy. I gotta go home, Beth.
When Beth is I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit. I lost it. Oh no, yeah, sorry. Beth slices the dude in the balls. And then there's a scene afterwards, which is straight up played for comedy, where the dude is like out limping around, holding his groin after like, you know, getting slicing the balls, and it goes on for so long, and it's just so awkward, and all the horror aspects of the film are so awkward, and the way characters look on screen is so awkward. It's just an uncomfortable film because you feel awkward for everything that's going on.
Yeah. It's so poorly stitched together that it's just it's hard to there's no fluency because the original film was so fluent because like even the idea of the music, there's a rhythm constantly going through it. There's something, it's in key with some kind of it feels like it's in key with some kind of broader natural for like the folk horror aspect of it. It really works. It all ties in together. This film's just like stitched together. So like it's such an it's just so artificial and none of it like congeals into like any kind of towards anything that's intended to be, even like there's attempts, like the whole thing about like the nuclear.
Yeah, I was about to say the nuclear reactor.
It's like everyone's
so forced.
Everyone's infertile in this village because of like there's like a nuclear reactor. It's like, so why is this in the film? It's like, excuse me, what does this have to do with the film?
Yeah, it's like everyone's infertile.
Yeah,
and because of radiation.
Yeah, man.
This film is a message.
Nuclear power, man.
And then.
Like that's the real horror.
So Steve comes in and he's with Beth, and they're preachers, and they got the silver rings on. They're not gonna have sex before marriage, and we see the horniest, most awkward kissing scene, like more awkward than the Kylo kissing Rey, kissing scene. Where I sat there, I was like, how have they not fucked before? If this is how they make out, like every time, like, how have you not fucked at this stage? And so they get real close and they don't, and then. Like, at the first opportunity when in this village, Steve is
straight on it.
And he gets into the lake, or the river even, with the Lolly, which is like the maiden character from the original film, essentially, but slightly tweaked.
But like shitter, yeah.
But shitter in every way.
Yeah.
Like, she literally murders people, like, during sex.
Yeah.
Or, like, highly injures them during sex. It's like, sex is her weapon. She's a woman.
It's like, makes you think. And
so, she is just naked in the river, and Steve comes over, and like he straight away, she asks him, he's like, "You for real?" And immediately like takes off his clothes, and then just stands in the water. Right, I literally go, Jesus, he really buckles to the right at first chance. He takes off his jocks. What the fuck? That ass, bro. It's lasting for so long. It just holds on his ass as he's standing in the water talking to her for, it feels like 5 minutes.
The ass. Hold on the ass. Robin Hardy, you horny man.
And you're just like, Jesus, this is the film. Like, this is like the correspondence scene to this in The Wicker Man is the sex dance at the wall, which is also horribly awkward, but in the best possible way.
It's like it's horrifically awkward, as in like it's like, what the hell is this? It's unnerving. It's like, what the hell is happening here? There's something off. This one is like what's he doing?
What is he doing? Because he doesn't. He's not tempted. This is his first temptation, and he's already fucking fallen over the hurdle.
Yeah. Soldier of Christ, Jesus, stop.
So like. And then you got Beth's stuff, and Beth's trying on the dress, and they're like, you're the May Queen, and you're just like, okay, I know where this is going.
yeah. Like, there's no kind of foreplay. It's not kind of like, they're not trying to like ingratiate her to anything. It's just kind of like, it's literally talking to these like village people for like 30 seconds. She's like, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna be the May Queen.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the May Queen.
You're gonna
You're gonna wear this dress, and you're gonna be the May Queen. She's like, yeah, okay.
And you're gonna be the laddie. He's like, oh, I'll be the laddie. Cool. What's the laddie do? It's like,
yeah, sure.
Oh, we hunt him. It's like, cool, grand, cool. And it's like, there's no like, the film is like, the cult are so. They don't even lie to them at any stage. There's no coercion involved whatsoever.
It's not really a cult. Yeah, they're
just telling them straight up, like, this is what we're gonna do to you, but you're too stupid to see.
Yeah, you stupid Yanks.
Like,
you just don't know.
Everything is so unbelievably literal and obtuse and no subtlety whatsoever. That like, you're just like watching these two idiots just march towards their death in a completely different way to how I think it's Laurie in the first film. Whatever the police officer's name. Like, you can see that coming a mile away, but you've no idea what they are going to do to him. Like, what is the Wicker Man? And the Wicker Man is like, gets put inside of him, and you're like, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah.
And then in this film, it's like, they just eat people.
They're just
cannibals.
They just eat Steve. They just eat him, and like they down, like just his bones are gone as well.
Oh, they eat everything.
They eat everything. Like, everything's gone. It's just like
they eat him alive.
Yeah, he's alive. Like, they catch him, and as part of like the ritual, and they just eat him, and it's like where's the because you're assuming something bad's gonna happen, but like it's so like clumsy the way it's done all through the film, and it's just like they just eat him.
Because
it's like what?
Earlier on in the film, right?
Yeah.
Beth escapes and she runs into the guy with the crow.
Yeah.
And she gets into his gaff, and he's playing a song that is basically going like, "Don't eat people, not nice to eat people," and that's playing. And I was like, what the fuck? Because it was so loud. I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, oh, this dude must be fucking nuts, because he has songs to remind him not to eat people. And like, then the other dude comes in, he's like, what are you listening to this shit for? And he knocks it over, and I was like, fuck.
Your man there is so like what the hell is this?
He's such a bad actor.
I
don't like talking about people's acting, but that dude was bad.
This guy he can't act. No one in this film can act.
No one.
But like, yeah, he was just. It's just like he's like Sloth. Like that's his from the Goonies. Like that's his role. Like,
hey, you guys.
He's just the heavy, and he literally like he picks up Beth at one point, like puts her over his shoulder and just walks off. But like even the way that like, just remembering that scene where we're in the guy with the crow, like he's kind of like I don't know, like special needs or something like that. And like
no man, he's an oracle.
Yeah, he's an oracle. Whatever. We're in his gaff, and like the shot, like there's no perspective at any point. Like the film is so poorly directed, it just baffles me that this was the same guy who directed The Wicker Man. It's like we're in his house, and it's kind of a tense scene. She's running away from her pursuers, and you have this weird song. It's not in the background. It's
in your face.
It's the audio. It is the audio. It's just like this song. It's not like an Easter egg or anything like that.
And they reference it twice in the film.
Yeah,
like to make you pay attention to the song.
Yeah. And it's this huge, comically big gramophone is playing out, and like
it's a gramophone.
It's a gramophone, which your man, the big fella, just stands on. Oh, don't be playing that. But like the at no point while we're in this guy's house, I think the camera cuts maybe once. It's just like a flat shot of this guy's house, and it's like a play. It's just people coming in, and she comes in, and then the guy comes in, and then he grabs her. And the guy with the bird just kind of like stand there the entire time.
Doesn't do anything. The song playing in the background.
Song playing in the background. There's no cut. There's no kind of like art. There's no artistry to the way they're presenting what's going on.
They're just showing you what is happening.
Yeah, it's just a box, and you're like looking at this room where, you know, the worst fucking scene you've ever seen is just playing out, and it's so poorly done. It was like emblematic the entire film. That whole kind of sequence is just so stupid, you know? So bizarre, like it just does. It makes no sense to me how this guy directed The Wicker Man.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't
especially get it. Sorry, just to go back, but like when they're singing that song, I was hit with like, what the fuck is he listening to? But then it's like, no, like that's what the cult is that they just eat people.
Yeah.
And like I don't know how any of this has to, because like right when you're watching The Wicker Man, the OG, you understand why these people are doing what they're doing and like how everything ties into it. Like they're gonna burn him, his soul will be burnt to give him to the sun, all that shit.
Yeah,
his body will be put back into the earth and he'll regrow their crops. All that shit. He's a virgin. All plays into it.
Yeah.
How does eating people make you fertile again?
Yeah, what are they doing?
Why are they doing that? What is the Wicker Tree? Like at the end of the film, they go to this fucking eulogy thing where it's like two people, a man and a woman, like trees, like fucking or dancing or something like that.
Yeah.
What has that got to do with anything that happened to them?
It's not really explained. Yeah, it's never explained. And like she's made into a statue.
Yeah, she's just a statue.
She's a statue. What's that about? It's kind of creepy, but it's like there's no context, so it can't be like it's not like what's the significance?
There's no connection between anything that's happening to like the actual folk cult elements that are happening in the film. It's so bad, and like I lost it. I absolutely when like that scene right when she launches the dude into the flame and he burns up. From that point on, I was losing my mind. Because then she's like, sing your song. I'm your queen. Sing it for my little laddie boy. And they all start singing the laddie boy song. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, literally, what is happening?
Yeah. It's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster show.
the evil hymn song they play as well.
The Evil Hymn. Which one was that?
It was they're surrounding Steve and they're singing like feed the blood or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and that's like, it's constantly kind of reference through the film. Yeah. Yeah, feed the blood.
So this, I guess it's their communion. They're eating his flesh. He's Jesus, bro, but it's also like folk, so it's like he's a different kind of Jesus, but it's basically Jesus.
He's cowboy Jesus.
He's cowboy
He's
Jesus.
American cowboy Jesus.
No, it's just everything. Literally, just everything about the film is bad. I think we can lay off on Lamore saying she's the worst pick that we've ever had.
I think so. Well, no, this is a good pick. It's just the worst film.
It's the worst. There's stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
It also just feels incredibly dated. Like, I could not believe that this film is like 10 years old. It's 12 years old. It feels like it's from the 80s.
Yeah.
Just how it's shot, how it looks, how it's acted. It just feels like an 80s film in the worst possible way.
Yeah, I don't know. It to me, it just kind of felt like, it just felt like a British soap opera. Gone terribly wrong. Like, just stitched together. It's just so...
It's so melodramatic.
Yeah, it's just so flat and like it's way too like brightly lit. The acting's terrible. It is kind of, it's 80s vibe, but like visually speaking, it's just like, because it's very crisp image, but it's like way too sharp.
Yeah, it's in a crisp image that's gonna date incredibly because there's no style to it.
Yeah, there's nothing to
no
it.
Flavor.
Apparently,
there's no spice to this image.
There's no spice.
Even with the nudity.
there's no soil. Yeah, even the nudity is kind of like so sterile and like ugh. Apparently, this was originally Sean Astin was supposed to be Steve.
Jesus.
Christopher Lee and Vanessa Redgrave were set to play major roles. Lee had passed the screenplay on to Astin while filming Lord of the Rings.
Check this shit out.
And they just laughed. They laughed all night. You know, but it's been in development for years prior to this. Obviously, Ewan McGregor requested a cameo appearance.
Sorry.
Yeah, fuck that.
It's a bad movie.
It's a bad old movie. I'll tell you that. Is it as bad as the remake?
Oh, this is way worse than the remake. At least the remake is entertainingly... Oh, well, this is entertainingly bad in a way that I was just losing my mind as to where this film was going and like how it was playing it all so incredibly serious. Like even the comedy scenes don't work because everything is so serious and not in like in a janky way, not in a good way.
Yeah.
That like I found it I found it entertaining. Like I was not bored watching this film. I had so many emotions watching this film. The Wicker Man remake I find boring and also incredibly bad.
Yeah.
But it's not, it doesn't go to the crazy. I know there's like the bees and stuff like that. That's not as insane as
it's nowhere near
as the cannibal reveal scene.
It's nowhere near as anything in this
I feel
film.
like an idiot when they actually turned out to be cannibals. Like, how did I not see this coming?
Yeah, I was just kind of expecting them to do the same thing again. I was like, oh yeah. But what is the Wicker Tree? It's just trees having sex.
Yeah, but what has that got to do with anything?
I don't know.
Like, they mentioned the Wicker Tree like twice in the film, and literally it doesn't add any context of what is actually happening, or like what is this ritual, like how does it actually work, all that shit. None of it. Oh, it's such a bad film.
We'll have to read the book Cowboys for Christ.
Yeah, maybe that'll explain it all.
Oh yeah, they'll elucidate all our questions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, what a film. What it's a good recommendation, I have to say. Good recommendation.
Thank you. Do you have a recommended film?
I do indeed.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Hear me out. Rocky.
Rocky?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's watch Rocky.
That's... Okay. Is this next series you want to do afterwards?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I guess you could do that.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I've never seen Rocky.
I've
only ever seen Creed.
Really?
I've only seen Creed.
I've never seen Creed.
I've never Creed was decent.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but like apparently it's good, so let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Sounds good.
Let's rock it.
Yeah. Sorry, Poddy. Did you see what Poddy said?
No.
He recommended that we talk about the cook, the thief, the wife, the something.
Oh, relating to the menu.
Yeah.
We can chat about that as well.
We can watch that, but that's not a recommended film.
We're not going to recommend it because we don't know anything about it. Well, we know the party recommended this. Well, of course we'll watch it, but
It won't be the recommended film.
It won't be the recommended film. Maybe it will be if we love it and we run out of ideas.
Go back to it. No, yeah, Rocky. That's a
sure.
That's a left hook. I didn't see that one coming.
Left field, really left field. Yeah, I was waiting for that one. I was waiting for that all episode.
It's in your back pocket.
Okay. But yeah, I'll see you then. Episode 114.
Should be good. Should be great.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.